Good morning students. In the last session we have discussed about the relative stability of the atomic orbitals and the stability of completely filled and half-filled atomic orbitals. In today's session I will be discussing about the electronic configuration of the atoms. We will be discussing about the electronic configuration of atoms and anomalous electronic configuration. So electronic configuration is nothing but the distribution of the electrons into various atomic orbitals that we call as the electronic configuration. That is, the distribution of the electrons into various atomic orbitals is nothing but the electronic configuration. Here we can represent or we can write the electronic configuration of the atoms very easily using three basic rules. In the previous session we have discussed about three basic rules which are used for filling the atomic orbitals, that is Aufbau principle, Hund's rule and Pauli's principle, that is Pauli's exclusion principle. So using these three basic rules we can write the electronic configuration of the atoms very easily. So in order to represent the electronic configuration of various atoms we will be using two ways. That is, the first way is we will be representing the electronic configuration in the form of respective symbols, that is respective letter symbols as S superscript A, P superscript B, D superscript C and so on as notations. That is, the first way to represent electronic configuration of the atoms is in the form of respective letter symbols. We will be using symbols of the shells in the form of letters, that is S raised to A, that is S superscript A, P superscript B, D superscript C as notations. This is the first way. Second way to represent the electronic configuration of the atoms is in the form of orbital diagrams. The second way is in the form of orbital diagrams. The second way is to represent the electronic configuration in the form of orbital diagrams. Here in the orbital diagrams we will be representing the orbitals in the form of boxes. We will be representing the orbitals in the form of boxes. That is, we will be using the boxes in the form of orbitals. If for example for S subshell we know that there is only one orbital, so that one orbital will be represented with a single box. Whereas in the P orbital we know that there are three orbitals, that is Px, Py and Pz. So those three orbitals will be represented in the form of three boxes. So these are the two ways to represent the electronic configuration of various atoms. So in the first notation, that is in the form of respective letter symbols, we will be writing the subshells in the form of letters as, that is S, P, D, F, so on. Like this we will be representing the subshells in the form of letter symbols and the electrons. And the electrons are represented in the form of, that is, those first will be representing the subshells or shells in the form of S, P, D, F, that is letter symbols, and electrons are represented in the form of letters or alphabets as A, B, C, D, so on, etc. We will be representing the electrons in the form of superscripts, that is as A, B, C, etc. And the similar subshells. For example, if we are having similar subshells with different shell, in that case we will be using the principal quantum numbers before these subshells. We will be using principal quantum numbers before the subshells. So this is the first representation of the electronic configuration of the atoms. Whereas in the second representation, that is in the form of orbital diagrams, we will be representing the orbitals in the form of boxes. Earlier I told that the subshells will be represented in the form of boxes with the orbitals. If there are three orbitals, we will be representing the three orbitals with three boxes. If there are seven orbitals, we will be representing them with the seven boxes. So the orbitals will be represented in the form of boxes as the electrons, here in the second notation, the electrons are represented in the form of arrowheads. We are representing the electrons in the form of arrowheads. If the electron is having a positive spin, then we are representing it with the arrowhead above. Arrowhead is nothing but it is a positive spin. It represents a positive spin. That is, the electron will be present in the form of either positive spin, that is arrowhead above, or arrowhead below, which indicates a negative spin. So see here, in the first notation we are representing in the form of letter symbols, whereas in the second notation we are representing in the form of orbital diagrams, wherein the orbitals are represented in the form of boxes and electrons are represented in the form of arrowheads. If the electron is having a positive spin, then it is represented with the arrowhead above. If it is having a negative spin, then it is represented with the arrowhead below. So let us see some of the examples to write the electronic configuration. Let us try to write the electronic configuration for some of the atoms. First example we have, that is hydrogen atom. We know that electronic configuration of hydrogen atom is, that is 1s1. Atomic number for hydrogen atom is 1. So it has one electron in its orbital. So we can write the electronic configuration in the form of first notation as 1s1. We know that here there is only one electron in the s subshell, and we have to represent this one electron in the s subshell. So we are having here s subshell. So we know that S subshell has only one atomic orbital, that is represented with single box. So that single electron enters into the lowest energy orbital. Here the lowest energy orbital will be the S subshell. So the single electron enters into the lowest energy subshell, that is S subshell. It enters into the S subshell, that is S atomic orbital of the hydrogen atom. The next example is helium. The atomic number for helium is 2. So there are totally 2 electrons in the helium atom, and those 2 electrons, for those 2 electrons we will be writing the electronic configuration in the form of first notation as 1s2. The second electron here, the second electron also enters into the s subshell, that is because the s subshell can accumulate 2 electrons. It can accommodate 2 electrons in its atomic orbital. That is, here we have the 2 electrons in the atomic orbital of helium atom. Those 2 electrons will be entering into the atomic orbital, s atomic orbital. Why? Because s atomic orbital can accommodate 2 electrons. Its capacity is to accommodate 2 electrons. So both the electrons will be entering into the same orbital, but they will be having opposite spin. Both the electron enters into the same atomic orbital with the opposite spin. So you can write in this way, that is S1, S2 as its configuration, and the orbital diagram will be in this way. That is, both the electrons will be in the S atomic orbital with the opposite spins. So next example we have, that is lithium. We know that atomic number for lithium is 3, and we can write the electronic configuration for this lithium as 1s2, 2s1. We can write it as 1s2 and 2s1. Here the first 2 electron enters into the lowest energy subshell, that is 1s atomic orbital, and it can accommodate 2 electrons. So both the electrons enters into this 1s atomic orbital, and we are left with one more electron. So that electron will be entering into the next higher energy level, that is 2s atomic orbital. So the electronic configuration for this lithium would be 1s2, 2s1. So write the electronic configuration or fill the electrons into the atomic orbital. That is, we are having 1s2 as the first atomic orbital, that is as the lowest energy atomic orbital, and it has 2 electrons. So both the electrons enters into the 1s atomic orbital with the opposite spins. You have to remember that both the electrons will be entering in the form of opposite spins. And in the 2s atomic orbital we have only one electron. So these electrons enter into the 2s 2s atomic orbital with a positive spin. Next example we have is beryllium. Here the atomic number for beryllium is 4. So there are totally 4 electrons in the beryllium atomic orbital. So the electronic configuration for this would be 1s2, 2s2. Here the fourth electron, here in the third electron is entering into the 2s orbital. In the similar way, the fourth electron in the beryllium enters into the 2s atomic orbital. Why? Because the capacity for the s orbital to accommodate electrons is 2. It can accommodate only 2 electrons. So the fourth electron also enters into the 2s atomic orbital. So we can write the orbital diagram for this as 1s2, that is 2 electrons in the 1s atomic orbital with the opposite spin. Then 2s2, that is 2s atomic orbital with 2 electrons and both the electrons having opposite spin. So this is the orbital diagram for beryllium atom. Next we have is the boron. Boron with atomic number 5, and the 5 electrons, for the 5 electrons we are writing the electronic configuration as 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. The electronic configuration for this would be 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1. So the orbital diagram we can represent here as 1s2 means the s atomic orbital is having 2 electrons. So it can accommodate 2 electrons. So both the electrons enters into the same orbital with the opposite spin. Whereas in the second, that is 2s atomic orbital, again we have 2 electrons. So it can also accommodate all the 2 electrons. So both the electrons enters into the same atomic orbital but with the opposite spin. Whereas in the 2p orbital, see here, in the 2p subshell we have 3 orbitals, 2px, 2py and 2pz. So we have 3 orbitals. Here we have only 1 electron in the 2p subshell. So this electron enters into the lowest energy atomic orbital, that is it enters into the 2px atomic orbital. We have only 1 electron in the p subshell, so that 1 electron enters into the lowest energy orbital, that is in the 2px orbital. So the orbital diagram would be in this way, and the electronic configuration would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. In a similar way for carbon atom, here for carbon we have atomic number 6, and the electronic configuration for this would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Here the one more electron we are getting, or it is entering into the 2p orbital. Here the 1s2, that is both the electrons in the s orbital will be entering into the same orbital but with the opposite spin. Whereas in the 2s orbital again we have 2 electrons and it can accommodate 2 electrons. So both the electron enters into the same orbital but with the opposite spin. For 2p orbital, here we have 2 electrons. Those 2 electrons will be entering into the 2px and 2p orbital. This is according to the basic principles, that is 3 principles of Poe principle, Hooke's and Pauli's exclusion principle. That is, we have to occupy the orbitals. First we have to occupy the orbitals singly, then we have to start pairing the electrons. Here we have only 2 electrons, so we have to occupy the orbitals with the single electrons first. So first I will be writing 1 electron in one orbital, lowest energy orbital, then the other electron enters into the next higher energy orbital. So both the electrons will be entering into 2 separate orbitals according to the basic rules for filling the electrons in the orbitals. So the next example we have is the nitrogen. Here for nitrogen we have the atomic number 7 and there are 7 electrons in its atomic orbital. So we can write the electronic configuration as 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. Here both the electrons in the s orbital will be entering into the same orbital and it can accommodate 2 electrons, so both the electron enters into the same orbital. For 2s2, both the electrons will be entering into the 2s orbital. For 2p3, here we have 3 electrons. So all the 3 electrons will be entering into 3 different orbitals according to their energies and according to the basic rules for filling the electrons in the atomic orbitals. So we are filling them according to the rules as in the single way, that is we have to singly occupy the orbitals. We should not pair up until all the orbitals are occupied with the single electrons. So for that reason we are filling the orbitals with a single electrons first. We are not carrying out the pairing up of the electrons here, because we have to follow the basic rules for filling the atomic orbitals in order to write the electronic configuration of the atoms. And the next example we have is the oxygen. Here we have 8 electrons in the atomic orbital of the oxygen. So the electronic configuration in the first notation may be 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. Here the two electrons in the 1s orbital will be entering into the 1s atomic orbital with the opposite spin. In the similar way, 2 electrons in the 2s orbital will be entering into the 2s orbital with the opposite spin. See here there comes a difference, that is here we have 4 electrons in the 2p orbital. So we have to remember that here pairing starts with the 4th electron. In the third, that is in the case of 3 electrons in the 2p orbital, there we should not pair up the electrons due to the rules. We have to follow the rules for filling the atomic orbitals with the electrons. Once there are 4 electrons, all the 3 orbitals will be filled with the single electrons. Then in that case the 4th electron will start pairing from the first electron in the first orbital. The 4th electron will start pairing with the first electron. So the 4th electron enters into the 2px orbital pairing with the other electron. So these 2 electrons will be with the opposite spins. So the next example is, that is fluorine. So here we have 9 electrons. So the electronic configuration we can write it as 1s2, 2s2 and 2p5. Here both the electrons will be entering into the same orbital with opposite spin. Here also in the 2s orbital both the electrons will be entering into the same orbital with 2 electrons. In the 2p5, that is in the 2p subshell, the 5 electrons we have to fill here. The 4th electron will be pairing with the first electron in the 2px orbital, whereas the 5th electron will also get paired with the second electron in the 2py orbital. So here the pairing starts in the second orbital. The next example we have is the neon. It has atomic number 10 with 10 electrons. So the electronic configuration we can write as 1s2, 2s2 and 2p6. Here both the electrons in the s orbital are occupying in the same orbital with the opposite spin, whereas the 2 electrons in the 2s orbital will be occupying in the same box with the 2 electrons with the opposite spin, whereas in the 2p6, that is first will be singly occupying the orbitals. First we have to write the electrons, that is 3 electrons will be entering into the 3 orbitals first. Then the 4th electron will be pairing up with the first. Then pairing starts from the 4th electron, 5th electron, then 6th electron. So the electronic configuration would be 2p6 and the p subshell will be completely filled. It is a completely filled. So in this way we will be using 2 notations to represent the electronic configuration of various atoms. Next topic we have is the anomalous electronic configuration. Here the electronic configuration of certain atoms differ from the expected or predicted configuration. Such type of electronic configurations we can call as anomalous electronic configuration. That is, how can we define this anomalous electronic configuration for atoms is that electronic configuration of certain atoms will be differing from the predicted or either from the expected electronic configuration, that is called as anomalous electronic configuration. Or in other way we can define it as electrons are distributed into various atomic orbitals. We know that electrons are distributed into various atomic orbitals according to the Hund's rule or Pauli's rule or Aufbau principle. But in certain cases there arises an exception. In certain cases we see some exceptions in some cases of the atoms that will be due to 2 reasons. One is due to the electron-electron interactions. That is, we will be observing a change in the electronic configuration, or there may be a change from the predicted electronic configuration that may be due to electron-electron interactions or either due to the unusual stability of the completely filled or half-filled atomic orbitals. That is, 2 reasons for the anomalous electronic configuration of the atoms is that it is due to either due to electron-electron interactions or either due to the unusual stability of the completely filled or half-filled atomic orbitals. So one such example for the anomalous electronic configuration of atoms is that chromium atom. We know that chromium has the atomic number 24 and the electronic configuration, that is general electronic configuration for this would be, the general electronic configuration for chromium would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d4. It would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d4. So if we are representing in the form of orbital diagram, the 2 electrons into 1s atomic orbital, 2 electrons in the 2s atomic orbital, and 6 electrons in the 2p atomic orbital, and in the 3s atomic orbital again 2 electrons, and again in the 3p atomic orbital 6 electrons, and here in the 4s atomic orbital 2 electrons. Whereas in the 3d atomic orbital we are having only 4 electrons. So first we have to occupy the orbitals with the single electrons. You should not pair up the electrons. So we will be writing all the 4 electrons in the 4 different atomic orbitals. So this is the general electronic configuration for the chromium atom. But this chromium shows some anomalous property, that is there is a difference in the electronic configuration due to unusual stability of the completely, that is exactly half-filled atomic orbital. This would be here the anomalous electronic configuration for chromium would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d5. See here the electron valence shell electronic configuration is changing here. The valence shell electronic configuration is changing, that is the 2 electrons in the 4s atomic orbital we were having 2 electrons, but here 1 electron in the 4s atomic orbital enters into the 3d atomic orbital, or it shifts into the 3d atomic orbital, making the d atomic orbital exactly half full. See here, I will be writing only the valence shell electronic configuration for this. So the valence shell electronic configuration is 4s1, 3d5. So the orbital diagram will be the 4s atomic orbital is having only 1 electron with the positive spin, whereas in the 3d atomic orbital we have 5 electrons. So all the orbitals will be getting single electrons. No pairing should be done here. So each electron enters into each atomic orbital. So when this 1 electron shifts into the 3d orbital, that is here we have 2 electrons. When 1 electron is shifting into the 3d orbital, it becomes the 3d orbital becomes exactly half-filled atomic orbital in order to get the greater stability of the atomic orbitals. So this is the reason this chromium has showing the anomalous electronic configuration. Another example for anomalous electronic configuration is copper. We are taking copper as another example. Here the atomic number for copper is 29 and the general electronic configuration for copper will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d9. Here the orbital diagram will be, that is in the 1s orbital we have 2 electrons, in the 2s orbital 2 electrons, 2p orbital 6 electrons, that is completely filled orbital, whereas in the 3s we have 2 electrons, again in the 3p we have 6 electrons, in the 4s we have 2 electrons, here in the 3d orbital we have 9 electrons. Here in the 3d orbital we have 9 electrons. Here the pairing starts with the 6th electron. First we have to occupy the orbitals with the single electrons. Once the orbitals are singly occupied, then from the 6th electron pairing starts here. So we are having 9 electrons in the 3d orbital and it is a partially filled atomic orbital. This copper will be showing anomalous property because here if this electron, that is two electrons in the 4s atomic orbital, if it shares one electron to the 3d orbital, or if the one electron in the 4s orbital, if it shifts to the 3d orbital, the electronic configuration would be 3d10. The electronic configuration would be 3d10, so that it becomes a completely filled orbital. So because of this reason, the one electron in the 4s atomic orbital will be shifting to the 3d orbital, making the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d10. Here the valence shell electronic configuration will be, that is in the 4s orbital we have one electron, in the 3d orbital we have 10 electrons, that is the last electron in the 3d orbital will be paired with the electron which is shifted from the 4s atomic orbital. So the electronic configuration, valence shell electronic configuration would be 4s1 and 3d10, making the 3d orbital completely filled orbital. So these are the two examples for the anomalous electronic configuration of the atoms. Here in the chromium, first example we have taken, that is chromium. There we are observing the anomalous electronic configuration due to exactly half filled atomic orbital, that is due to exactly half filled d orbital. This anomalous property in the copper is seen due to the completely filled atomic orbital, that is completely filled d atomic orbital. And this anomalous electronic configuration is usually observed in the d and f block elements. Here this anomalous electronic configuration arises due to two reasons, that is electron-electron interactions. Another reason is that is unusual stability of the completely or half-filled atomic orbitals. In the chromium we observed the anomalous electronic configuration due to exactly half-filled atomic orbital, whereas in the copper we have observed the anomalous electronic configuration due to this completely filled atomic orbital. So here in the class we have discussed, in this session we have discussed about the electronic configuration of various atoms and the anomalous electronic configuration with the two examples, that is copper and chromium. So this completes your atomic structure chapter.